Damn. And it's snowing. It is cold out. A lot of snow. We'll make this quick. I think we're 2 weeks into being back home in Boulder. Wanted to meet up with Jared. He's my advisor. I've been working with him for almost a year now. Julie Dibbins made that introduction for me last year, and it's been great. I'm not a very coachable athlete for whatever some reason. At least I can admit that. But Jared's great. He kind of watches from afar and points me in the right direction. Says if I need to do more or less of things and how I need to do things. And I'm pretty anal about like having correct training zones, heart rate, power, pace, stuff like that. So to get those dialed up today before we really start leaning into Ironman Texas build is really important to me. And then we'll probably hit it again, I don't know, sometime in May or June as we lead up into Ironman Nice. Get all the new thresholds, training zones. Yeah, so it's good. Really happy with it. I think we're 8-9 weeks out from Ironman Texas, and it's time to start doing some heavy lifting.
Let's get this guy on.
Yeah.
Checking out some data.
So what is this first stage?
Kind of easy, more like if he's going off for like a Sunday casual spin. Then we'll bump it up. We may go a little bit longer at some of like the endurance stages when he's really getting in and around zone 2, kind of Ironman pace. Go a little longer. I would love to see if we got to like a little bit above threshold. You know, it's like we don't need to like sort of max out, and this is not that kind of test. This is more of a sub-maximal focus test. So if we get like 3 to 5 minutes sort of a little bit above what we might think is his lactate threshold or ventilatory threshold 2. Yeah, so on a scale of 0 to 10, what do you think?
1 or 2.
This makes me feel kind of good. I could probably hold this amount of watts and ride with Trevor if, you know. Yeah, I could do this with him, but unfortunately he's at a 1, and I would be more at like a 4. All right, let's add a few more. One of the big goals is to assess how much fuel Trevor's going through at different intensities, so that way when he's out putting long training days in, we know how much carbohydrate he's expending, how much fat, how much total calories. Like Training Peaks gives that information. We can take what we actually see that's really happening, live on a metabolic cart, and compare that to see how well Training Peaks is doing at calculating what his expenditure is. Yeah, it's looking at a ratio of carbon dioxide, right, in expired air to oxygen uptake. Basically, the lower that ratio is, that number, right? If it's like, say, 0.7, that's going to be all fat, right? If it is getting up towards 0.85, that's going to be a balance. 0.84 or so is sort of a balance between fat and carbohydrates. When it gets to a perfect, 1-to-1, that's all carb, right? So that's what we're looking at, yeah. So right now, he's burning mostly fat, which is what we want to see at the lighter intensities. On a scale of 0 to 10, what was that last stage?
Like a 3.
Okay. The one thing you can't tell that we're doing right now is we're actually we're collecting sweat. Trevor has a sweat pouch. That's going to help us figure out his sodium needs during training and racing. But yeah, so we can kind of make some pretty good assumptions based off that information. Oh, thank you, if you don't mind. Yeah, that's great, yeah. Good, yeah, awesome. Nice job. Nice work. 30 more seconds. On a scale of 0 to 10, where did we hit? 9. 9? Okay, cool.
I feel like I'm so much more efficient than my legs can handle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're not quite strong enough.
Yeah.
With great power comes great responsibility. I've said that before.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I can see that.
Does that make sense though?
Yeah,
Like,
yep.
I mean, I think that went better than last time. Got another stage.
We got higher watts, same stage, same watt per kg.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say it definitely felt a little smoother this time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Last time you were just kind of like I had to force you to sort of get through that last stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it, I saw good substrate utilization comparable to where you were last year.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like to be where you were in July.
Yeah.
Right. And we're here in February.
Heavy off season.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's just showing that you're just the time and your chronological age as an endurance athlete, you know, like is stacking.
Do you think it's worth doing the run today? I don't know if I could do my very best.
No, you don't need to. Let's do the run. You don't need to do your best.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's we have you here. Let's just have you start shuffling. Put the mask back on. We're all set.
Okay.
And whatever we see, because it's going to be useful data. Maybe even more useful than when you're fit.
Okay.
Right? For training purposes and understanding.
Oh man, come on, bro. Garmin says no workout to be. Yeah, this basically says rest. I'm gonna dismiss it.
Yeah, same test, and we'll probably. I mean, again, like the idea is stay on the softer side. So, whenever we feel like we got good information, and he's like, "Ah, I'm done. We're done." If he's like, "Yeah, I want to push a little bit," we can push. So, yeah, he'll wear the mask. How's it feel around your nose? Do you want more tension, or is it?
No, I think it's good.
You good? Okay. Okay. Okay, where do you feel like you're at now, Trevor? 4. Okay, can I get your finger? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
A little higher. That's not good.
4.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to get a little break, and then we'll go for the last one. All right, Trevor. One more to get one last little data set here. Great. There you go, 15 seconds. Nice work. Let me stick that out. Alright, give me a finger. Thank you.
I'm curious, like, are there any results that surprised you? Any trends that you saw?
The biggest surprise, the results, is I really like, I thought we would see more stress, right? Like, you know, like it just takes a different kind of like, I guess, energy level, mindset for Trevor to push above threshold, you know, even above base, really. And so it's like the amount of work that he was doing with the amount of like physiological stress that I was seeing was just very high amount of work. Didn't feel it from a physiological standpoint. The data says he wasn't under a lot of stress. Okay. I mean, and I say stress by being like the amount of lactate that he's accumulating. So he's not, his blood is fairly low on, maintaining a fairly high pH, so he's not really getting that acidosis, right? Trevor made the complaint about like, I feel like my aerobic system can handle a lot more than my legs can push. Well, then we got to figure out a way that we can push his legs, right? And for him to be able to handle that, to be able to do that sort of outside of just races. We know when he gets to races, he can hit the legs hard, right? But when he's in training and in like these more or less like controlled efforts, pushing to threshold, pushing above threshold, that is an area that is he doesn't like, maybe doesn't want to go to that often, you know, or doesn't end up there because he can do so much work sub-threshold, which makes you think that, hey, maybe there's room for improvement in that area of his physiological profile. Texas is endurance. It's long. It's you know, we want to have low lactates. We want to have high fat burning. Do we need to have a super high VO2 max for, you know, maximum aerobic capacity, above threshold capacity for Texas? Not necessarily. You need some. So, but the question is, if you work on some of those areas, will it allow him to bring some of the sub-threshold up even higher? Right? So there is room for that in his block. We just gonna need to figure out how to make it fit without wearing down too much, where it's hard to hit the consistency, to get the quality of workouts consistently. So, yeah, we'll have to get creative. But you know, but Trevor's up for doing like, you know, VO2 max efforts towards the end of a ride here and there, and those kind of things. Maybe there's some things we can do with sort of skills and drills kind of work, doing some lower cadence, some strength building on the bike, some specificity that way. I mean, there's definitely areas we can work, but the same thing also needs to happen on the run. And so, I mean, maybe we use hills on the run to help elevate that, right? There's different things that we could do to help him work on that sort of higher end of the profile, where he's, I mean, like, yeah, it's like we could have got him there if we were like, you know, we said, you know, load up on all your food you can, come in energized, and we're just like, that's the focus, right? We're driving there, but that wasn't the focus today. But still, you could just see that he didn't really want to go there, right? Does that seem right? Yeah. Right now, Trevor wants to eat. He wants a burrito, whatever he can put in. Yeah, so.
So big takeaways from today. Are we in a good spot getting into future races?
Yeah, I mean, because we're in February, it's setting up really well. I mean, the fact that he can do what he can physiologically right now. I love that he has sort of extra storage on board, right? Some extra, right? So
storage. That's a great.
That's what we're going to call it, right? So that's an advantage. He's doing quite a bit of great work right now, right? And then I love having areas to work on, right? Because we have time to work on them. If everything was there right where it needed to be right now, where do we go then, right? And so, yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Yeah.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.